This is going to be a lively brew. It's my plum and elderberry, and the yeast are so happy ripping through the sugary fruit that lots of foamy bubbles have formed on the top. After about 1 day, that foamy stuff has travelled up through the airlock.
Oh no!
This is why I always keep the demijohn sitting in a bowl to avoid a messy situation on the floor. So how can we prevent this potential mess from happening? We could simply allow more headspace. Headspace is the amount of gap between the top of the liquid and the opening of the container. Having a lot of headspace at this primary stage isn't considered a problem, especially at the start of fermentation. But it would be best to rack it off into another container with minimal headspace once the fermentation has finished. But remember, the foaming up problem may not be solved by adding a small amount of extra space, as the foam can really build up and can still reach the top. So we could use something called a blow-off tube, where one end goes into the grommet hole of the brewing container and the other end is placed in a separate container, such as a mason jar, filled with water, and the bubbles are released into that water. It's effective because the overflowing foam has a further distance to travel, and if it does reach the end, then the foam will end up in the water-filled container. Finally, we could simply keep an eye on things for the first couple of days. I always keep a spare clean bubbler nearby that I can easily switch over, allowing me to clean the original one and keep that ready in case it happens again. But the choice is yours. You could do absolutely nothing, then clean up the floor.